Senator Jonathan Dehlin. Our catharsis speech is resolved that Twilight be abolished.
Recently, experts in the field of literature released a list of 100 literary masterpieces that they believe have shaped and will continue to shape our American culture, whether for good or bad. Now, I believe that many of you would recognize most of the titles that were on this list. I believe Harry Potter was 34th, Lord of the Rings was 97th, and that's not too surprising to me. What got me was the top 3 on this list. Third was a reference to the English language, used to define words, their spellings, and their meanings. And it said that 80% of all English-speaking Americans own or have owned in the past this book, and that number is amazing. Second on this list is a spiritual reference to one almighty being and his life on this earth. And first on this list of ingenious works is and it beats out Webster's Dictionary and the Bible, is a book about a teenage girl who cannot walk down the sidewalk without stumbling over her own feet and tripping all over herself. And I think not only that, but this young woman is in love with a man who can't get too near her in fear of his dying thirst for her blood. Now, I think it's quite clear what book it is I'm talking about, and although I think it a bit odd that Twilight would beat out the dictionary and the Bible, I do remember saying that this list was of inspirational texts that have moved us for good or bad. So my job here today is to convince you that it is the latter, for it is no doubt, in my mind, detrimental to our society. Now, the only way I believe I'm going to be able to do that, judging by all the girls out there who booed me, I think I'm only going to be able to do that with solid facts and data. So I've got one for you now. A poll is taken every year by over 10,000 women across the nation between the ages of 18 and 28, the time it is most common to be married. Now, the subject of this poll is what character trait these single women are looking for in their future husbands. Now, in 2004, the year before Twilight was published, this poll was taken and the #1 answer given was integrity. And that's a genuine and sincere answer. Then the year after Twilight was published, 2006, and sold over 2 million copies in the US alone, the #1 answer given it's not, it's just not very meaningful. Because the #1 answer given in 2006 was perfection. Perfection. I'm not making this up. Over a fifth of the 10,000 or so young women who took this poll said that the man they were going to marry had to be perfect. Integrity came second after perfection, and determination took third. I refuse to believe that we have truly stooped to that level of absurdity. We went from a genuine and sincere answer, integrity, to one that I can't even believe was mentioned at all, perfection, #1 on this list. It was said 2,000 times. Now you're all thinking, isn't it okay for a woman to want the best out of someone? No. It's not okay. It's okay for a woman to want the best for someone, not out of someone. The men of this country are being criticized. We are being criticized because we are not perfect. We do not need any more criticism in our lives. We beat ourselves up enough for not being all that we want to be. We don't need people coming into our lives and beating us up if we're not all that they want us to be. It's called demoralization, and it leads to two things: crime and suicide. It's not a laughing matter, this is serious. It's proven fact. It cannot be argued against. Degrading someone increases the chances of that person committing federal offense or even taking their own life. Of course, the majority of those currently in this room are not 18 to 28, and therefore it's quite likely that none here participated in this poll, so I will move on to something that will be a little more personal to you. And I know it will, because we're here in a school, a place where we gain intelligence, a very important aspect for our futures. I think y'all know what I'm getting at here. Now the average IQ is 100 points. Since the book came out in 2005, the amount of young female adults with IQs below the average has increased by 19%. Even over a four-year span, this number is significant and cannot be overlooked. Twilight is making girls dumber. Creates a decline in intelligence. If that reason alone is not enough for you to agree with me that Twilight is indeed detrimental, then I'm going to have to touch it to the most personal of my arguments. Families. We all have one. Where we'd be without families, I can't imagine, and I don't wish to. Now, my father is an honorable family man, and being so, works 10 to 12 hours a day of grueling work every day to provide for his family. And sometimes all he wants is to come home and relax and be comforted by his appreciative and supportive family. I do not find it truly fair that when he should arrive home, my mother, his wife, should not only not at the door to greet him, but sitting upon the couch, softly and silently kissing the pages, dreaming of another man. One who does not even exist. Now, if you were to ask my father whether he enjoys being passed over for a phantom, something as trivial as words on a page, he would tell you that it is outrageous and heartbreaking. I would find it truly a shame if a family were to be broken up because of a phantom. For these reasons, and others which I don't have the time to share, I believe Twilight and its sequels are hazardous to society, and therefore should not be in it.